Hey there friends, last month I put a challenge out there for people to send me their best tutorials on how to perform flowers, and now we're going to dive in. Drex here from DrexFactor.com, drilling down the tutorials that people sent me for the November Drex Tutorial Challenge. Before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow Toys, Paraterra Light Toys, LMF Props, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support florists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. So a brief word real quickly about what you're about to see and what you are not about to see. I'm only going to be reviewing one video in the course of this, and it's not because I was only sent one video. In fact, I know that there was at least another video that I got sent. But the problem is that when the time came to make this video, I could only find the one video. So you know how I do that whole thing where I give the instructions of once you have shot the video, send it to my email at drex@drexfactor.com. The reason for that is that it is the easiest way for me to find it when it comes time to shoot. I have literally just spent the past hour going through my messages in both of my email inboxes, on Facebook, in my Instagram. I've even looked for responses to the previous video, and unfortunately I couldn't find one of the other submissions that I was sent that I know came in around like the 26th or the 27th. So this is one of those moments where it's important to realize that how a thing is delivered is just as important as whether it gets delivered. So if you were one of those people that sent me a tutorial to look at for the November Tutorial Challenge, please resend it to me. I would love to take a look at it and maybe put out a video on it at the beginning of January and everything. But as it stands right now, Kimmy Cherry, thank you, because you were the only one who followed all the instructions this past month. So thank you so much. So on that note, let's dive into Kimmy Cherry's video. Check it out. All right, so I'm hitting play right now, and cool, I'm going to pause it right quick right here. So first thing I'm going to say is, Kimmy, I really appreciate that you're demoing the trick, and also that you're giving that little bit of text for us to know exactly what this tutorial is about. Good move there. It's kind of like a little promise that you're going to give to the audience and everything, and I really appreciate that.
I'm Kimmy Cherry, aka Camp Boy Girl 713 at Instagram and on Facebook as well. I also run the No Gal Cherries YouTube channel. I am very new to
Did you introduce yourself?
And this month I am taking the Drex Factor Poi Challenge on how to teach somebody how to do poi flowers. He wasn't very specific, but I figured this would be a great
No, I was not.
And throughout the video I've given you some time where you can pause or where you can just follow along with the slow-mo action or yourself and try to keep up with it on working how to do those small exercises. I practiced doing. It was a very interesting thing, and it was a really cool challenge, and it was over a year ago, and it was one of the first things I ever did in the flow arts for myself. That was for a friend, but also for myself learning a new trick.
So I'm going to pause right here. What's interesting about what you're doing right now is you're not just talking about what the significance of the trick is, but the significance of the trick to you, the journey that you went through in learning it and everything. There's some people that don't like that thing. Like I see this a lot in online recipes and everything, where people will tell the story of why a recipe meant so much to them, and there's this whole subculture that's just like, you know, just get to the recipe kind of thing. And then there's another side where there are people that really enjoy finding out what your personal relationship is to the thing that you're teaching. I tend to fall down on the side of I like knowing what your connection is. I think that that's kind of a cool little story, and I appreciate that you added that there. But just be aware that both camps exist, and if you're going to go into a story, make sure that it's not a novel, yeah?
Really find that these tutorial challenges are some of the coolest challenges I've ever gotten to be a part of.
Aw, thanks.
So I'd like to say thank you to Drex Factor for putting out these challenges because I really enjoyed them. Bye-bye.
Sure thing.
And throughout the video there'll be slow-mo footage as well as other ways and a little bit of text description on the side of the slow-mos to show you directly how to do this.
Okay, so I'm going to pause right quick right here. So it's good that you're describing to people what to expect from the video, but you already gave us all of these instructions before when you were in the car. But yeah, instructions are good, but we only need them the once. Thanks.
But to start with the warm-up, I'd like to start with doing extensions.
Good. Good place to start.
Directions. And then in the middle of this circle is this diamond we're going to create. Or at least we're going to touch the points of this diamond to create what we call a poi flower.
Okay.
You can start with a poi flower as a 2-petal in spin, or just doing it with 1 petal if you like, and doing the extension.
One thing right quick. So I noticed that you pulled in a separate piece of text over the caption that said you can choose any of these directions, etc. You really don't want to have text overlapping itself on screen and everything. You've been really good about that so far with other stuff on here. If there needs to be another piece of text that pops up, it's like in the corner or something like that. If you can, keep your blocks of text as separate as possible.
Or you can even start off at the bottom, but just make it a full extension and then pausing for a moment as if you're going to do something different.
Cool. I use a similar technique to teach in-spins myself. I love that you have the little practice break set up in here. Cool. And reminding people to do it in both directions. Good call. So I'm going to pause right here. So one thing I really appreciate about how you've structured this tutorial is that you have both the version of you speaking to the camera as well as like a slow motion version with little captions that'll pop up from the side of the screen and everything to give little instructions. I've long believed that it's a good idea to hit as many learning styles as possible, and in this way you're getting both your auditory as well as your visual learners, and I think that's really cool and actually something I might steal a little bit in the future. We'll have to see. Pausing right quick. So I'm pretty sure that was the 3-petal in-spin flower that you just did rather than a 4-petal. Yeah, because I don't think there was a petal on the backside and everything. But yeah, other than that, petal placement, top and bottom and front were all correct. Oh, sweet. You're doing a triquetra in here too. Interesting. So I'm going to pause right quick. So I think it's cool that you added the triquetra in here, but there doesn't seem to be any instructions in here on how you got to it. Because it's anti-spin instead of in-spin, it doesn't really connect that directly with the stuff that you've shown off before, and it kind of feels a little bit like it's come out of nowhere. If I were in your shoes, I might, if I'm going to include a variant on it and everything, include enough instructions so that somebody can decode how to get to this other thing from the thing that you've just taught.
This is a top and below.
So I'm going to pause right here. One thing I just wanted to single out right quick is that the poi you're using here are very, very, very visible. They take up a lot of room and they have a high degree of contrast from the background, which, although that's a subtle thing, that is something that people occasionally miss when they put together tutorials. So that was a good call. Make sure you keep doing that. So I am going to pause right quick, and one thing I just wanted to point out here is we've already seen you doing the in-spin flowers going in both directions with a couple sets of poi now. I question whether we need it this third time or not. I don't know if there's a utility here in terms of people like seeing it repeated a bunch of times. And those of you out there that are watching, you can tell me, do you feel like it was useful seeing this repeated like this in these multiple environments and everything? Oof. I'm going to pause right here. So the caption said 4-petal in-spin, but you're doing a 4-petal anti-spin. Make sure the caption matches what you're doing.
All this crazy wind because we're about to get hit with a serious cold front. I know, because I do the weather report for the local newspaper.
And I'm going to pause it right here. So again, there's kind of like a difference of opinion on these sorts of things. I never in the course of recording a video talk about what the experience was like of producing the video unless there was something that went crazy wrong or different, such as when I was describing at the beginning of this one why I'm only reviewing one video this time around. There are others that think that this adds a personal touch and everything, and by all means, if that winds up being kind of part of your own personal brand, then, you know, absolutely inhabit that and everything. But again, I just wanted to kind of stick a pin in that, make it feel like a deliberate choice.
And I enjoy doing things, and I never thought of myself as teaching somebody else to do things in the flow arts world, but I really enjoy the challenges of it. So I want to say thank you for putting out a challenge like this, because I think tutorial challenges are really cool, actually.
You're welcome.
They inspire me to want to learn more tricks, and I'm sure I'm not
Yay!
like that.
That is the whole point. Cool. All right, so Kimmy, thank you so much, not only for preparing this tutorial, but also for making it easy for me to find when I went about creating this video and everything. The things that I think you did really well here, I really appreciated kind of the way that you built the trick up piece by piece, and that you had sections where you were both narrating what you were doing, as well as sections where you were just demonstrating and letting kind of little blocks of text, captions pop up to kind of reinforce the point. I think that that's actually a really good approach, and it actually gave me some ideas myself. On the other side of things, there's a couple things that you do here that there's a difference of opinion on whether they're a good idea or not to include in tutorial content, including, you know, talking about your own experiences with them or talking about the experience of creating the video and everything. And it's up to you whether you want to hold on to those. Very clearly, I do usually include some pieces of what my experience with a given trick has been, but I almost never talk about the experience of making videos just because I feel like people watching probably don't care that much. But if that is a part of who you are as a teacher, then I think that you're doing a great job in terms of pacing them and in terms of giving people a personal connection to you. So now it is time for me to drop the tutorial challenge for December on you all. And that challenge is going to be, ironically enough, the triquetra, which I'd already decided on before I watched Kimmy's video. So Kimmy, just do the tutorial explaining how that's done now. And anybody else who wants to do a triquetra tutorial, I would love to see your version of how you teach this trick. Perhaps you want to just teach it by itself. Perhaps you want to teach it with some hybrids, like a triquetra versus static spinner or Mercedes or something like that. I'm leaving that part up to you. Do you want to show people the applications for it, or do you just want to show them the thing and let them figure out those pieces for themselves? It's up to you. Either which way, though, pretty please send me your video submissions for tutorials on how to do the triquetra. Send them to drex@drexfactor.com. They are due by Christmas Day. That is December 25th, and I will be running through your videos in January and issuing a new challenge then. Thank you so much to all of you who are watching, and thank you in advance to everybody who will participate, because getting to see other people teach is why I like doing this and gives people a reason to go out and do it. If you dug this video and would like to see more like it in the future, please hit that subscribe button as well as dinging the notification bell. This guarantees that you will see my videos when they come out. And before I set y'all loose, I just wanted to put out a massive thank you to all of my wonderful supporters on Patreon. They are the reason that this video and all of the videos on my channel exist. If you'd like to sign up to support the work that I do, please head on over to patreon.com/drexfactorpoi. You get early access to all of my content, as well as a say in what content I pursue in the future, as well as some great behind the scenes and exclusive features too, yeah? So check that out, and thank you so much in advance.